Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Tomorrow, where we discuss anything and everything. I'm your most beautiful host, Katrina, and
Still the hottest on the table. I'm David, your
when I'm
co-host.
there, how? Well, let me introduce
Okay,
my guest. I have Nathaniel to my right,
Yeah, welcome.
Nice to have you, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
and I have Mr. Cyril. Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah.
And on the show with us today is Barrister Evans. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
So our topic on this episode is something that we usually see on social media, but let's talk about it today. People please.
Something Petrina does for me every time.
When nobody on this table even believes you.
Oh yeah, all this makeup is not for me. She tried to woo me anyway. Let's go.
Seems to
Please, David.
Okay.
Who is a people pleaser?
Basically, a people pleaser is someone who can't say no even when it is necessary.
Does that sound like me?
Yes, you can't say no to beautify yourself for me. Very simple.
Barrister, looking at you, we already know you're not a people pleaser. I don't know if I even need to ask that question.
Child of the law.
How did you come to that conclusion?
That will work for me
How
once or
did you know
twice.
that I'm not people pleaser?
Okay, were you ever one before? I know that you are not, but have you ever been one?
No, I actually hate that act. Boot licking. That's another word for it. Another word for it. And I see it as people who have low self-esteem. They have low self-esteem. So the only way they think they can express acceptance or acceptability is to want to please everybody at the same time. The Bible calls it eye service. Eye service, to make yourself look like you are the one who is the better person in the room that can please everybody or please a particular person at all times, even at the detriment of your own pursuits.
Yeah.
So some people have attributed it to tribe. I don't want to go there. That there are certain tribes too who are very fearful and they always act like they are the ones that want to please everybody. You understand? But I think I should look at it structurally from the individual. Not everyone is privileged enough. Not everyone have courage. Not everyone grew in an environment where you are asked to be your own man. Some persons are actually raised to be in the crowd. Okay, standing out is not their thing. They are not ready to do that. Some people too, they have that tile in their personality, their temperaments. Like the phlegmatics now, they are the ones that live and let live, easygoing. They want to please everybody, displease themselves. If you want to have a successful party, get a phlegmatic to share the food. It will make sure everybody is okay except himself. So as long as people are happy, it's going fine. When people are displeased, you find a place to cry or look for how you were meant or all that. So this one is a condition. I don't know whether it's a condition, whether it's also a dysfunction. But I think it's more of a habit than it is of a medical or psychological condition.
Yeah, for me, I think I can imagine how someone could become a people pleaser. For instance, if maybe at home, I always use this example, at home, the parents does not give them attention. So they might start trying to do
Seek
things
attention from
exactly and start trying to do things just to get acceptance. Mr. Cyril, have you ever been a people pleaser?
I think so there are many terms used loosely. Alright? Eye service, people pleaser. I think in the Bible Paul called it men pleasers. It's the same thing. There are several names we bring to the table for it. He has also called it boot licking. There's a name I'm trying to use. It has skipped my mind now. But I like to look at it from a corporate point of view. If there's a strategic goal we all want to achieve, all right, and there's a coordinator that is driving that process, and I would rather make myself appear to be doing so much for the coordinator to see, even if that thing I'm doing leads to failure of the overall outcome. he may see me and say, I may win the award of the most active worker, even when in the end, the project won't move forward.
That's giving pick me behavior.
That's
That's the real definition of it. The person's own work is working towards the boss, not working towards the answer.
The agenda.
The agenda, exactly. Yes. So that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that I don't take a lot of these things we discuss here for granted, because I look at myself and in the mirror of my own personal evaluation, I ask myself, am I capable of, in any way? So, for example, there was a day we talked about, is it perfection or something like that? And we're talking why people want to be perfect and seem to be doing everything right.
Yes,
and how they feel uncomfortable if they're not, there's a name for it, imposter syndrome. Yes, imposter syndrome. So I don't take it, for me, it's not just a conversation. I go back and evaluate myself and see where I can make amends, because a lot of us picked up a lot of dysfunctions growing up quietly without knowing.
Yes.
When you were supposed to have come first in class, somebody was put where you should have been, and you formed a view from that point on that it didn't matter to put in your best, things like that. So coming back to the matter at hand, I think that what I have been guilty of the most is, I don't know if it's compassion, kindness, or when somebody is in need of something, and I will go over and above myself to do it, even when that thing is not. And usually I don't expect anything in return.
But
So that's another.
Isn't that people pleasing?
Well, so I mean, you can call it what you will, but it's personal to me. If it's a favor you're asking, if it's money you're asking for something, and I know I can give it. I think that for somebody calls me around 11 p.m. or 11:30 with sleepy eyes and tell me they want something to be ready by 5 o'clock or by 7 in the morning, and from that point on, sleep leaves my eyes. But over time, I've also learned that there has to be healthy balance. So so I'm working from that. But people pleasing.
You have this Jesus Christ like.
I never knew how to say no for a long time. I never knew how to say no. But I think I'm healing from that. Okay. But it doesn't mean
Don't heal from that Jesus Christ level.
So there's what they call being selflessness. Okay, somebody close to me had an accident, a gate fell on the person. That morning I went to work. They said that there was numbness from a particular part of the body down. I went to the hospital. Last week, right at Ikeja, I was sleeping on the open grass. I fell ill taking care of that person. But that's as far as that goes. I think that selflessness has its own place. But that when you're talking of people, there are those who just appear to be
just cosmetic.
Yeah.
When deep down they know that if the thing you're looking for from you is no longer with you.
They'll take
That person will not
they'll take the walk.
Okay. To me, people pleaser are people with high, low self-esteem, and people who do not know what they are doing. Once you don't know what you are doing, like you have a boss now, you'll be doing everything to please that boss because you do not know what you are doing. Now, the world is made in such a way that even the people you are trying to please will still come against you when you make one little mistake. When you are no more, you won't be replaced like you weren't once alive. And that is why you have to be yourself. Set boundaries. And if you come to a place when newly you are employed in a company and you started with pleasing someone, the day you say no, you go in war with the world. So be you, do you, with no apology. It's something this rapper said, Lil Wayne. He said that you should work hard. You should be somebody. Be something more than what you see in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror. Don't let them judge you, because the world can't judge you. You will judge what you see in the mirror. Now, this means that do you. Just do you. Don't let the world bring that external force of making you wanting to please them as low esteem or not knowing what you are doing. I tell you, if you know what you are doing and you have value in yourself, you know who you are, your identity is real to you in your own unique authenticity, I tell you, you won't be people's pleaser because they'll still complain.
The question was, if
Yeah.
you've been a people pleaser before.
I've never been that, but I had a colleague who was that and he was later sacked from that company. Yes.
So
You see, people.
Before we move on.
It's called PR.
How do you draw the line?
There's 9 relations.
How do you draw the line between being kind and being a people pleaser?
Yes, the discrepancy between two of that is that being kind is maybe I have a boss and the boss is having a birthday and I get him a gift. I'm being kind to the boss. But the boss didn't say I should do this, I just ran to do that. And I'm just trying to fit in everybody's position so that the boss will see me, to recognize me. And I'm trying everything in my power to get recognition. You're trying to please that boss. And if the boss is a sensible person, you know that. You know, there are sensible bosses. They don't take lapses from what they hear from people. They know that. They watch and they think, this person, I know this person. And once they know people, and one thing with people's pleaser is that they have this ability of condemning people. They come to the boss. This person is doing like this, running errands and all of that. That's not necessary. Do you? God sees you and the boss sees you. If it's a sensible boss, I'm not talking about boss that is being moved by big bots or maybe something. But the person knows what he's doing. I'm not citing instance. If the person wants the company to move forward or wants something good to come to that company, it would look like there's a content. This man knows what he's doing. No, you don't do this to me. Even your colleague will treat you down if you are people's pleaser. They don't know say I did this. And these same people, the day you say I don't want this, they say, so you are wicked like this and you're not hiding.
Exactly.
This is just the deep explanation to that. So
I think to your answer, one comes from within, the other comes from without. Kindness, meekness is something that comes from the heart. You understand? The other one is coming from advertorials, PR, public relations. You know, your boss just arrived. You are using boss for example now. You start to clean his shoes. I worked somewhere in a law firm where then we had a guy then who was brought to the company, the law firm, and he was trying to rise just by the moment he got into the law firm. He wants to rise, and he felt that the best way he's going to rise is by
licking those house boots.
Telling the big man.
going to the boss, reporting other staff on what they are doing or they're not doing right. You know, when the boss comes to the office with during summer, comes to the office with his children, he'll be the one making sure that the children are okay. The boss children are okay. Everybody, the boss, anything. The boss is going out. Will carry a laptop, carry the. You understand? He wants to have a driver. We tell the driver not to worry. Yes, sir. So he was doing all those PRs. So we're looking at that and saying, what is this one? You are employed here as a lawyer to come undertake your cases. And you know the funny thing about it is that they gave him 2 files. And the chamber regretted handing over those files to him because those 2 files did not see the light of the day. Those cases it will be in court and be calling the boss who is busy on phone. So you just want to find out how the boss have arrived court or arrived office. You want to know that.
That's the nuisance actually. That's the
and there are people like that.
Yeah, it goes to the extreme where even the person you are doing that to know that
like
it's car service.
Exactly. Because nobody is like
This
that.
kind of attitude cannot take you
Anywhere.
You will rise on the basis of the works of your hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, people don't read. You will not see. It's your diligence.
Yes.
That is where that's a springboard. If you are not able to be diligent in what you are doing, you want to be all over the place so that you'll be counted for something. You'll be counted for nothing.
Nothing, exactly. I love that. I love that word so much. You're saying something. Now, if you come to your boss to tell the boss something, do you know what your boss will feel like? I can't even entrust something to you coming to tell me this. Because if I entrust anything to you, that's a mouth won't close. Most of our problems in life are tongue troubles. It's a major thing. Tongue trouble. People.
I was also going to say that I think sometimes if you look at people who just want to please others habitually, who go into now, maybe the people whose competence profiles are not as much as they want us believe. Because he was talking about somebody being given 2 files and the company regretting giving those files to the person. There's a possibility that it's happened before. Your boss likes because of your work. From there, somehow gets to know your family. You become really close. But sometimes staff become like boss's children. Those are great. But it doesn't begin from coming to work and trying to become your son or your daughter. It become your listening post or your gossip me. The primary thing is that if you command a healthy degree of competence, people say that knowledge makes proud. I don't know if you've heard before.
Yes.
So let's put a red pen under proud and just underline it and say, as a substitute or as a synonym, knowledge makes confident, knowledge makes bold, knowledge makes sort of independent, knowledge makes, well, maybe not autonomy, but like, knowledge helps you to have a healthy self-image of yourself that makes you realize that you can thrive in the world without necessarily going to become somebody's bootlicker. So the reason you work is because you need to work. The reason you work in an organization is because it's a necessity, not because you're going there to, since I can't make it better anywhere else, let me look for a place where they are looking for my type, where I can gossip, where I can do the because in any serious organization, like you said, when work, can you go to work and escape work? It's not possible. When work is given to you, that's the first place you want to prove that you're worth being hired to be in that place. Okay, so it matters. This men-pleasing thing, I think that if we could give ourselves a bit more to competence, a bit more to knowledge, it was saying that we don't. If you give yourself a lot more to mastery, it will reduce people's propensity for being men pleasers. That's just.
Well, the thing is, now that I think about that thing you said before, I don't think that's actually people pleasing. For me, the difference between being kind and being a people pleaser is when you're being kind, most of the time is to people that you already know.
Yes.
And there's an extent you wouldn't go for people that you don't know.
Mhm.
And when you see people going to that extent, that's when I kind of think it's people pleasing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See it.
And also,
So
when you,
I've been
when you,
acquitted now that I was not true.
Yes.
so when you also when you also do good and you carry the camera along,
Yes.
Aha.
It's still people pleaser.
you want society to judge you on a particular
I
way.
think celebrity do that now.
Say you are giving out something to
privilege.
people,
Mhm.
then you take camera to show the world that you are giving this out and are giving that out and all of that. Sometimes the motive is not because you love those people.
And
You
most
just want to drive a narrative.
Yes, exactly. I was going there.
So it's
Barrister,
also
just
what do you think could, like, I already mentioned one before, a reason for people pleasing, like I mentioned like family life and all that. What do you think could be another reason?
why people do that.
Yes.
Yeah, people just want to feel good. They want society to put them in the good book. Okay. To say that we know him, he's a good person. He takes care of people, even when it's not coming from the heart, even when it's just to create a conversational narrative over there. So people do that a lot. Nobody wants society to judge them wrong. You understand? People, especially those who have very low self-esteem, they think that is by addressing society and make it just
So
like
that means it's not possible for you to have a high self-esteem and also be a people pleaser.
I don't think it's possible.
It's
It's
difficult.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
You know. Jesus,
Sorry, Barrister, sir.
Jesus
the
was
high self-esteem comes from somewhere. What's the spring it comes from?
the high self-esteem comes from your upbringing, from confidence, from your ability, from your identity. You understand?
Okay.
I just want to add to this.
I want to add knowledge.
That of course knowledge is at the center of it. You know, when Jesus was put to that test, Pontius Pilate told him, say, "You are the king of the Jews," and he said, "You have said so." He said, "Speak now. I have the power to take your life." You understand? And Jesus said, "No man takes away my life. I have my own violation laid down. And if I lay down, I'll pick it up again." You have no, so that is someone who knows
Who he is.
who he is.
Yeah.
With esoteric and empirical knowledge of his identity. So it's not about, I didn't say I am a king because I wanted to please those following me. And I didn't provide food for those who were hungry because I want to please them. You understand? I did not do these miracles just so that, even when the mother came to meet him at a point, that if this is not, don't do this, it's not the time for that. And theologians, who researched on that, have told us that Jesus acted that way because he needed to obey. He needed to take care of parental, you understand? Otherwise, ordinarily, that is not where you should start from. but he had to bend backwards to obey the mother and do what he did. You understand? So it's not to please people so that they'll get drunk and be saying the wine is better than the other one.
Yeah.
All the actions
Yeah.
actions that were to fill a void,
Yes.
to fill a necessity.
Yes.
In fact, on one of the occasions, the disciples had told him that these people send them away, make them go look for food by themselves. He said, no, you provide for them. Now, he didn't do that because he wants to please them. He did it because they were hungry. He wouldn't have done that. But so what I'm trying to say that it's like a standard.
Okay.
That people should do things out of love and necessity,
Yeah.
not because they want to promote something, promote an idea, or
Exactly.
like as celebrities do when they want to release a movie
An
or an album or something. They will create a controversy.
Yes.
One of them will start to accuse the other of
Yes. Just
something.
trying that.
They will now stimulate society.
Yes.
Later, they will now bring the word out. And now say, okay, this is what controversy. So they will start to sell and all that.
Even
It's shabby.
politically, so if your election is around the corner, you go and visit the less privileged, the orphans.
Yeah, so
take
they start to use
pictures
corn
with
up and
them.
down all over the place. That's how
After winning,
So they're eating corn on the street, meeting a Karawuma and all that. How is their eye service?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Huh?
So, how can people pleasers learn to say no?
Well,
Here's the 60 seconds.
okay.
Let's take this one.
If they want to learn to say no, I think they need to go back and reevaluate themselves. Do a SWOT of personality. Do a personality test. Who am I? What do I want to live for? What's my goal in life? What do I really want to do? What are my strategic objectives as a person? So when you begin to walk in light of those, that's what the outcome of that self check. I think it will help to streamline the things you want to do, the places you want to be. I wanted to also add to what Barrister said earlier. There are people who just like the toga of without me, this organization, or this, It may not even be the same. It may be people saying that guy or that lady, she's the pillar, and
I just want to be praised.
Jesus avoided that thing, like you were saying.
Yeah, you are feeling the low.
In fact, the time came, he said, even he will pass away from the earth.
Yes. That's when Peter then said no.
You know what? even was saying
So I
that.
will go with you.
Yes, even because you know what he was talking about. Even him said that a time that he was going to pass it. So we need to know the limits of our mission and work within that. I think if we can define and work within the boundaries of that of what I've said, we'll be very safe, very healthy, and be less toxic.
Okay. To me, I would think first, high self-esteem. Place value on yourself. High self-esteem, place value on self. Then thirdly, do you without no apology.
Without looking for
Validation. Yeah, be real to yourself. Be real to yourself in your own unique authenticity, because you are real, you are good. So people see you, they will recommend you always.
Barrister, your 60 seconds.
Yes, I think we should do what we think promotes the cause of humanity for the sake of humanity, not because we want to be in the good book of society.
Okay.
So we should project ourselves to rescue people who are in need, not for society to document, but for the purpose of projecting humanity.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for your time, Barrister.
Thank
Thank you for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
Thank you,
God
Nathaniel,
bless
for being
you.
on the
Thank
show.
you.
And thank you, our viewers, for watching this episode. Join us next time by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV 7, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.